Welcome to my presentation. My name is Fiorella Cepeda. This is my ID. Today we'll be discussing how to successfully conduct a business in Russia. Russia's current population is at 143.4 million. They're located in Europe and Asia. Their main capital is Moscow. The main native language spoken is Russian. The secondary language is considered to be English. As many parts of Russian, there are many people that speak the English language. Their GDP is 1.776 trillion. They have a currency of Russian rubles with an APEC Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation. This is the map of Russia. Here we see the capital of Moscow. And then we also see the chief town of federal districts. Russia's encounter with communism began in 1917. During this time, their economy was a disaster. Russia remained a complete government ownership for the next 75 years. This means any factories, currency, and also distribution was all dictated as a hierarchical government. Today, Russia is far more advanced, but undoubtedly there's still some corruption. Russian business today in some measure carries an ambiguous legal systems where business laws may change very regularly, so it can be subject to a high political risk for any new entrepreneurs. Their exports include refined petroleum gas, coal. Some of their imports include car, motor vehicles, parts and accessories, and also some broadcasting accessories. The exports right now is 330 billion, while the imports are at 220 billion. So this is creating a trade surplus, which means a positive trading. To make an appointment, you have to make an appointment weeks in advance or even months in advance. Remember to not book any appointments in the first week of May, as Russian has several public holidays. Always remember before any meeting to confirm either days prior, weeks ahead, or even months ahead with the person who's in charge or either as the person's secretary. Always clarify who will be present, as Russians, they tend to like to know who will be present, as they often rather have the person who will be making decisions there. Punctuality is great importance, so always remember to be there 15 minutes before. And then remember to always be patient, as sometimes business partners can be running late. The business attire for a business meeting with Russian is just a regular traditional formal business attire. So men usually wear a dark suit with a jacket and a trousers with a tie. Women can wear suits as well with blouses and skirts. Remember to keep your hair well groomed to look fresh as possible and very professional. You can also look expensive, so wearing a nice watch or nice jewelry can be a very good look for you in the Russian business culture, as it is important for them to look fresh, to look expensive, as to be treated as such. The public etiquette. During greetings, make sure to shake hands firmly and maintain direct eye contact. Never use first names. Always approach the person by their full name, if you know their full names, or approach them as Mr. or Mrs. with their last name. Business cards should always have two sides. It is recommended to have a Russian side and also an English on the other side, and list any certificates or any degrees, as this can be very important. Verbal communication. So Russians tend to be very direct and they do not avoid confrontation whatsoever. Russian humors can be very sarcastic, dry, and quite direct. Keep in mind that it's common for Russians to swear in casual situations. Verbal communications to Russians are considered to be more trustworthy than any written formal statement. Russians appreciate when foreigners learn their language. So if you have time to learn the language, they will really respect that. And also always be ready to have your own interpreter. Russia's negotiators are very often experienced. It will usually be clear among them who has authority. Russians perceive negotiations as a power game, as they do not like to lose. Talk to them as equals and do not come across as condescending, as they can get very offended easily. Meetings can often be lengthy and you may still not reach into agreement, so remember to be patient again. Keep in mind that Russians value strengths and they will not compromise. And be ready for last minute walkouts. Body language is also very important. And remember to always be careful of your own body language. And keep in mind that few body languages that we have, or either hand expressions that we have, may be insulting to Russian, such as the American okay, which is the thumbs and index finger forming a circle, and also as standing and putting your hands in your pockets. That may be considered rude. For Russian, there is an importance of relationships. This is an important element in Russian negotiation culture. To do business in Russian, entrepreneurs have to build relationships. And this building relationships may take a long period of time. Russian negotiators will never take such confidence in their counterparts so easily as Americans do. And an entrepreneur will never be able to close a deal if they do not build these strong relationships. When it comes to decision making, decisions are usually made at the most senior level. That boss is usually advised by the heads of department, but they usually tend to make the decision on their own. Decision making can be very long. It can take a very long time. The Russians generally value age, rank, and protocol. Managers tend to be very dictatorial and autocratic. When it comes to gift giving, do give fine chocolate, wine, office accessory, high quality whiskey, coffee, or tea, or a food that may be difficult to obtain in Russia. Flowers are a great gift for women. Always make sure that the flowers numbers are odd. Do not do 13 because 13 is considered unlucky. And if you do an even number, that is only given in cemeteries. So keep that in mind. And make sure that all gifts are wrapped nicely, especially expensive gifts. When it comes to entertainments, Russia are great hosts and they love to entertain. So guests do not usually start eating until the host starts. So keep that in mind. Usually when they have a special guest, the special guest has to leave first in order for the rest to leave. Remember to always express your appreciation on the food, as it reflects well on the host. Drinking and toasting at gatherings is an important and common act. Remember that Russians do like to drink, so always limit yourself on how much you're drinking, as you would not like to make a bad look on them. Considerations to take is that Russians' workplace and business culture will generally have a strong hierarchy at all levels. Always respect the strong power structure that they have within a business. And when you introduce any changes and new ideas, always present them gently, as Russians tend to avoid any type of risky situations. Okay, thank you.